30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 34 looking for 35 with a domestic koi.
You'll see it gets pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It started out very small, and every year it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, so we may have up to 100 people here. It's hard to say.
If you're interested in some butterfly koi, you better come quick because they're going fast. We have people in our group that are fish enthusiasts. We have people that are just water gardening enthusiasts. And then we have crazy people like me that want at least one of everything.
I started out on a small scale. My garden was little when we first moved in here. We got the stream in the pond done, and my husband said, I don't like it. We're going to have to redo this. This looks terrible. I said, Steve, all you're seeing is a stream and waterfall and rock and fish. So wait till I get done landscaping. It'll look like it belongs here. And slowly as I started landscaping, he kept saying, you're right, it is all coming together now. So I let him have the pond, that's his baby now, and he lets me have the rest of the yard, so that's okay. I think I got a pretty good deal. I think I did better than he did.
All of my fish are named. We have Beauty, we have Romeo, we have the Queen, we have Shogun, we have Sun Tzu, we have Mudman because he was kind of ugly. You know, what do you do? I think I have 40-something koi now. And these fish become your babies. I should have as good a life if they have it.
Well, it's brought Steve and I together. It's the one thing we enjoy together. Now, when we're working in the garden, we can't be right next to each other, which is interesting. He has to be at a different section than me, but we're out there together, so.
This has to go up, at least my wife wants it up by Sunday at the auction. So I'll probably be doing that on Saturday night still.
Otherwise,
I might be in the shed.
In 2010, my husband and I actually volunteered to be on the pond tour for Pondorama that year. But in April, he was tragically killed in an accident. And that pretty much shook my whole world. At first I thought, I can't do this. And then I had two young men come to me at a meeting and say, Jenny, we will make your pond look the best it's ever looked. And they showed up with a truckload of plants. They cleaned my pond. And I decided that every single day I would go out and I would work in the garden and be so grateful for the life that we had together for 35 years. It's a great remembrance of what we did together. And I think that, there's nothing better than nature to get your life back on track.
When you buy a tosai, which is what we were selling, the imports, you're looking at a fish that has to develop yet. If you buy a fish that's this big for $75, when it's this big, it's a $300 fish or more, depending on pattern.
We just had a show I was at 2 weeks ago in Louisville, Kentucky. The guy that won the grand champion, it was a Shiro at Surrey. It was about 3 foot long, maybe a little more. He paid $69,000 for his koi over in Japan.
Koi live 80 years and more when they're kept well. They're handed down from generation to generation in Japan. They think the oldest koi on record that had lived was about 200 years old.
Benny Ogon. All right, 26, looking for 27, 27, 28, 29, 29, looking for 30, 29, looking for 30, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 38, looking for 39, 38, 39, 55, 60, 60, looking for 65. Anybody can bid. $60 once. Sold at $60, number 3.
There was kind of a magic limit of $100. I had to really like to fish if I was going to go over $100 for it. Never before have I bought this many, but it was time to replenish, and I got to buy some really cool fish. I'm going to drive these back to my house. I'm going to take these out of the car, set the bags that the fish are in the pond, and then they will equalize with the temperature and the water that's in my pond. And then we'll let them go. You recognize the first time somebody comes when they walk around the side of the house and they go, oh my God, look at this. This is Bob's World in miniature. You know, my wife, she passed away a couple years ago, but I take her along to railroad swap meets, and she tugged on my shoulders and look at this, a garden railroad. We could do that in the backyard. Yeah. And the next thing you know, I was on a first name basis with the UPS man, and once a month or so he'd stop and walk around the back to see how I was coming, building the town and the pond and the train layout. Bob and Elaine's Hollow Wallet Railroad. For obvious reasons. Like I told you before, the way you start this is you dig a little hole, you lay down a piece of track and you start watering, and the pond grows and the track grows, and pretty soon you got yourself a backyard garden, railroad, and pond. Welcome to Bob's World.